Hey everybody on YouTube. So a couple things for those of you that know and for those of you who might not know. This tilt steering column comes out of a 64 Chevy Impala, right? And it's practically identical to the 63 Chevy Impala. So a couple things that are different, and though some of you do know this and some of you that don't, if you ever get a tilt steering column like I did out of a no tack housing and no dash, so if yours didn't come out of something like that had this right on the top of it, then you're gonna have to cut right here a small oddly shaped cut here. You're gonna have to do that in order for this and the dash to sit in. Yes, you probably could shim this, but I think it'd still kind of look awkward. I haven't done it, but I did have a tilt steering column with a Super Sport tack housing and everything. I don't ever remember the cutout. Probably did. It's been so long, 25 plus years, but regardless, that's what you're looking at. So the 63 and the 64 without this on the dash, if you grab one of these, you're gonna have to have a cutout. At first I was like, whatever, you know, but I had to take some time to research and look at it. This will save you a lot of headaches when you go put this in and you have that set up in there and it doesn't work. So you really need to cut this out if you want to have the dash and this housing with the tack in there. So something I learned so far. I mean, this is just a real basic, you know, rattle can paint job. It's nice, it's clean, it's not filthy like it used to be. Cleaned up all the other components for it. I ordered this on eBay, actually the same manufacturer that I purchased the wiring for my 63, and my wiring's great, phenomenal. I highly suggest, guys, you get new wiring, and the reason behind that is that back when I had my 63, I was, I think, 16 years old or so. I was driving on the highway, and I had some bare wires underneath the dash. And so I was in Nampa, Idaho, coming up to exit Franklin. For those of you who might know where that's at, I started seeing some smoke coming out of underneath the dash, and it quickly filled up the car. I was actually very fortunate enough. I got up the little hill, pulled over to the side, turned the car off, grabbed a towel, tried to separate the wires before they all melted together. And I was lucky enough that it did some damage, but not a whole ton of damage where I couldn't start the car again and at least get back home. So I highly suggest, if you're going with wiring, or if your Impala has old wiring, it's just one of those things you gotta do. I know it costs a little bit, but it's one of those things that I would rather invest in new wiring than to have to go through the pain of seeing melted wires or short something expensive that you have in the car, that kind of thing. So just FYI, guys, you know, it's you put a lot of money into these cars, so invest in it. Highly recommend it. Other than that, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna get the housing, or not the housing, the template from a friend, a real good friend here in Idaho, and I'm gonna attempt to go ahead and put it on here as precise as I can, cut it, and then go ahead and put this in a couple weeks. So that's it for me. I won't keep blabbing away, but just know, you know, do your research. I've been dealing with these cars forever, and quite honestly, I thought that these tilt steering columns were all the same. I guess they're not. Something new. I learn something every day about these kinds of cars. All right, have a good one, guys. Bye.